I'm Glenn Tyson, Product Manager for Atmos International, and over the next 20 minutes I'm going to take you through a showcase of Atmos International's solutions and approaches to providing innovation to every pipeline. For more than 25 years we've been pioneering leak detection and operations management systems for pipelines. Our systems are now installed on over 1,500 pipelines in more than 60 countries, and it's through fresh thinking and being brilliant together that our colleagues around the world deliver the best innovation, customer service and solutions to different pipelines. Our focus has been to protect people, property and the planet by minimising the impact that leaks generate. Whether this is pipeline integrity issues, theft or geographic incidents, we aim to have the right tools to help operators and pipeline owners maximise the potential of their pipelines. From the founding of our business in the UK by Dr. Jun Zhang in 1995, we now operate globally with teams in America, China, Costa Rica and at our headquarters in Manchester, England. Alongside our offices, we have a network of experts and partners in Singapore, the Middle East, Australia and South America to ensure customers are always near to Atmos for support. In the last 12 months, we've seen the impact of a global pandemic and how this has been affecting daily working lives. Pipeline operators are not excluded from this, and the limitations of lockdown and social distancing, more than ever, operators need tools that enable them to run pipelines with the minimum resources. So let's take a look at our simulation products to see how they're helping operators run pipelines safely and cost effectively. Atmos SIM is an operational tool that users can trust to help operators run their pipelines safely, efficiently and with clarity and visibility. Atmos SIM is comprised of various software products and modules like Atmos SIM Online, Atmos SIM Offline, Look-Ahead Modelling, Atmos Batch, Atmos Trainer, Surge Analysis and more. Atmos SIM Online is capable of modelling either liquid or gas pipelines using real-time data available from DCS and SCADA systems. It enables operators to monitor areas where there is limited or no instrumentation and can complete forecasting calculations, which allows operators to view the current pipeline conditions based on current or simulated what-if scenarios and assess the safety of the schedule. Enhancing the user experience, a simple graphical user interface allows operators to have a single glance view at how a pipeline is operating. Atmos SIM has a range of functionalities including Atmos SIM Offline, enabling pipeline design, hydraulic studies and training to take place in a realistic environment without disruption to existing operations. Atmos SIM Online models the pipeline using real-time data from DCS and SCADA systems. It allows operators to monitor areas where it has limited or no instrumentation, such as at mixing points or subsea, and provides confidence in pipeline behaviours. Look-ahead modules allow the operator to view the current behaviour in the pipeline and assess the safety of the schedule. Look-ahead modelling shows what will happen if the pipeline continues to operate in its current state. Predictive modelling shows the pipeline's behaviour in a variety of future scenarios that can be configured, saved and used again. Alarms can be configured for a variety of set thresholds to determine if the current schedule is likely to violate safe operating conditions or result in the failure to deliver nominations. Atmos Simulation supports the industry's view of prevention, detection and containment. So let's look a little further into some of the functionality of Atmos SIM. One of the key benefits Atmos SIM customers are reporting is the instrument analysis functionality. This feature is standard for Atmos SIM to ensure models always return accurate results. Atmos SIM achieves this by comparing real-time data acquired from field instrumentation with the calculated values which are returned from the simulated pipeline model. When this comparison returns a difference, Atmos SIM can determine if the field instrumentation has developed a fault, as it can benefit from the surrounding instrumentation values and not focus on the difference in isolation and identify the value as an outlier. An example of this can be seen here. By comparing the measured values in the dotted lines with the model calculated values in solid lines, an instrument malfunction is identified. It is this comparison that Atmos SIM users have taken to the very next level. Following the identification of faulty instrumentation in the field, it's not always possible to dispatch a repair team promptly due to the availability or even having the essential equipment to complete the repair. This was prevalent during the pandemic. In this circumstance, users have been able to integrate the simulated values into the SCADA or DCS and override them in the human-machine interface displays to enable the operations team to safely operate without the need to constantly note which values are unreliable. In the example on the screen here, a redacted image of one of our customers' systems is shown, where the unreliable values from the field have been replaced with simulated values and highlighted with red rectangles to provide that visual cue to remind them of its source. This process also allows the operations team in the control room to easily prioritise the dispatch of the maintenance personnel to quickly resolve high-impact issues. Before this integration, the control room would have been reliant on the systematic approach to the maintenance of each instrument, which would have been done on a schedule rather than this proactive approach to the issue documented above. The image on screen here shows the difference between 49 measured and calculated pressures. It is clear that the orange line represents a bigger difference than the average error, and this could indicate that some maintenance is required for this particular pressure meter. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused additional challenges to pipeline operators and left some of them with reduced staff sizes. Operations teams with reduced members have used Atmos SIM to quickly identify faults with critical instrumentation. The software has enabled them to isolate the issues by overwriting the measurements with trusted simulated values. This has enabled users to continue to operate their pipelines with confidence while a maintenance team is dispatched and problems are resolved. Atmos International is known within the industry for leading leak detection solutions, and it's sometimes easy to overlook the value of pipeline simulation as an element of leak prevention. Atmos SIM can foresee developing issues and provide early warnings hours before any action is required to avert a crisis with the look-ahead feature. With a real-time model in operation, the simulation software can take a snapshot of the current pipeline state and calculate what will happen in the future and return alerts if the pipeline limits are to be exceeded, and a predicted time when this would occur. Similarly, it can predict the future security of supply by running look-ahead modelling against schedules and nominations. This type of operation can be manually triggered, but it's typically automated to run as frequently as every 15 minutes for short-term calculations in the region of 24 to 48 hours ahead to every hour for long-term calculations. Results are returned within minutes, and using the latest technologies, Atmos SIM can process multiple simulation scenarios simultaneously so that operators can have accurate information quickly to act upon proactively with confidence rather than making reactive decisions to an unfolding disaster. Atmos SIM has overcome the limitations of other RTTMs in achieving the maximum sensitivity and shortest detection time under all operational conditions. Atmos SIM incorporates the proven statistical algorithms from the most deployed leak detection system in the world, Atmos Pipe, to minimise false alarms. Atmos SIM leak detection module continuously calculates the volume balance, and this volume balance is obtained by calculating the total flow into the pipeline minus the total flow out of the pipeline, corrected by the inventory changes calculated by Atmos SIM. The volume balance is statistically analysed by the sequential probability ratio test, SPRT, which calculates the ratio of leak probability over no leak probability. This ratio is then tested against the alarm threshold to provide optimal leak detection. Atmos SIM also monitors the discrepancies between measured and calculated pressures and flows. These discrepancies are also processed by the sequential probability ratio test to generate reliable leak alarms. Atmos SIM is especially suitable for pipelines where it is not feasible to install intermediate flow meters and pressure sensors, such as subsea. Atmos SIM accurately models pipelines with minimal instrumentation, for example, flow and pressure meters at the pipeline inlets and outlets only. Also, it can model pressure sensors upstream and downstream of intermediate pump or compressor stations. Using Atmos SIM leak detection offers the following benefits. Increased stability of the leak detection system by removing the effects of instrument errors. Increased sensitivity through learning long-term instrumentation offsets. Reduced false alarms through SPRT algorithm. Consistency through using the same software across all pipelines. No need to increase the leak size thresholds during transient operations. and saves time through reduced errors. Let's look at some of the features and benefits of Atmos SIM. The following leak location methods are combined with Atmos SIM to provide faster and accurate locations, enabling rapid response by operators and limiting the impact on the environment. These methods are flow imbalance ratio and pressure difference. This leak location method uses volume imbalance ratios at the boundaries of each leak detection unit and is suitable for complex pipeline topologies with no instrumentation in between pipeline ends. This method provides more accurate leak location estimates for leaks occurring close to the pipeline ends, so where there is instrumentation. The basic idea behind this leak location method is that when a leak occurs, the measured pressure values will change the most near the leak location. The model is not aware of the leak, so it will provide a leak-free value at the meter location. This creates a deviation between the measured and calculated pressure. By comparing the differences between the modelled and measured values at the pressure meters, we can identify where the leak is by finding the meters with the largest differences. The combination of these two methods provides the industry with an accurate leak location solution, even for complex pipeline networks. In the event of a leak alarm, the emergency response team needs as much information as possible to minimise the consequence of the leak. In addition to the leak rate and location, the hydraulic profile of the pipeline close to the leak is essential. Atmos SIM provides a very accurate hydraulic profile of the pipeline based on the elevation data and accurate simulations. When we are looking at containment with respect to a leak event, it is essential that we have accurate leak size and location estimates to work from. Atmos SIM provides reliable leak size and location estimates without the need for specialised equipment and limited only by the quality of the field instrumentation. With the leak size and location estimates, the hydraulic profile close to the leak can also be used to provide the additional information. Access to the leak site, total volume of leaked amount, whether the leak is near a high consequence area such as waterways or high population areas. For liquid pipelines, potential spillage routes. Availability of remote operated valves for isolating the leak pipeline segment. And the location of the nearest emergency response centre. This information will help plan the emergency response and estimate the scale of deployment in the event of a leak. It can also help reduce the consequence of the leak significantly. So far, we have discussed how Atmos SIM can support prevention, detection, and also touched on containment in the form of hydraulic profiles and leak location. What we're also able to do with Atmos SIM Online is to trigger look-ahead scenarios based on actual alarm events. For example, upon a leak alarm being generated, we use the leak-free state and apply a leak point at the location returned by the leak detection module. In the out-of-the-box scenario, we use this to trigger a specific look-ahead that assumes the pipeline emergency shutdown is triggered and isolating the leaking segment. We then calculate the total product volume lost and how long it would take for the segment to empty. Another example of using look-aheads for operations is the situation with a pump or compressor trip. By running a survival time scenario automatically on this trip, Atmos SIM can quickly return if the pipeline can still continue to deliver the nominations and trigger further events in the form of minimum inventory alerts. It can also support this alert further by returning the time when this would happen, giving the pipeline controllers the time they have to get the pumps or compressors operational again before it impacts on the nominations. In this showcase, we've given you an extended overview of Atmos International simulation solutions. So why is Atmos SIM better than other real-time transient models? Atmos SIM can model the hydraulic behaviour of both gas and liquid pipelines accurately. The unique maximum likelihood state estimator uses available flow and pressure data to provide a highly accurate calculation of the hydraulic and compositional properties of the product in the pipeline network. For leak detection, Atmos SIM has overcome the limitations of other RTTMs in achieving the maximum sensitivity and shortest detection time in all operational conditions. It incorporates the proven statistical algorithm sequential probability ratio test to minimise false alarms. By using Atmos SIM, You can have a good understanding of your pipeline hydraulics, line pack, instrument and equipment behaviour. You can look into the future by running multiple scenarios quickly to take preventative actions before you miss a nomination or violate a pressure limit. And you can minimise the consequences of a leak by planning emergency responses correctly with the maximum information on leak rate, location and hydraulic profile. Thank you for watching the Atmos International Showcase on our solutions for pipeline simulation and operations. It's important to remember that every pipeline is different, and this means solutions need to be considered individually. The Atmos International approach is to apply fresh thinking to our customers' challenges. To learn more about our products and services, please contact us by emailing us or visiting our website.